Hello, I'm Lois Dixon Myers, and I'm here in Houston, Texas, to celebrate the 4th of July this year, 2013. I wanted to talk about the Bible. The Bible that was passed down in my family from the first generation that came over to America on a ship from Scotland, James and Samuel Dixon. My father's name was James Allen Dixon, and he passed in 95. Somehow I have in my possession the beautiful heirloom called the Family Bible. I would like to have you take note, if you would please, of the very humble cover, the very hardy cover of the book, the Bible, because we're all from very humble standings from the beginning here, I believe, in America, or at least most of us. And there's no words about this being the Holy Bible. Perhaps there were, but over time it's been erased. But I wanted to share with you, I don't know how this happened, that these pages got stuck. They got stuck. This was in my father's possession for a long while. I would like you to notice that it begins with Genesis. The pages are a little bit worn here at the beginning, but other than the first two pages, it's in remarkably good order. And as I turn over, I'm going to just kind of turn over the first hardcover and flip back so you can see the maps that are in here from the early days of Moses, for instance. This one is what the Holy Lands looked like according to the time of Moses, the map here. And there are other maps in the Bible of biblical times. But what I wanted to share with you mostly that I think is so invaluable, I guess I'll have to put this down for a while, is in the middle of the Bible there is the genealogy of my family. James Dixon was born in February 5th, 1728. And it goes down through the years, listing their children that they had, many of whom fought in the American Revolution. A Samuel Dixon died fighting alongside his father, James Dixon. At 18 years of age, he was. And then these are the later marriages going into the early 1800s and mid-1800s. This Bible, has the Apocrypha, which are not included. The books of the Apocrypha are really not considered by the scholars to be authentic. So Esdras and Tobit and some others in the Apocrypha are not included. But the reason I felt that this was important is that it was placed on the family homestead in south central PA in a little town called Hunterstown. Samuel Dixon was the first recorded landowner, purchasing land from William Penn of Pennsylvania in the York County historical records. York County included Gettysburg and York, Pennsylvania at that time, pre-revolutionary. Among my father's ancestors were those who marched to be beside George Washington. Within 3 days of his taking commander-in-chief position in Cambridge, and they went on his first battle expedition after George Washington got all of his troops in shape. 1,200 men went up to over the main Canada Divide, fought in the Battle of Quebec, was considered the most treacherous trek in American history, Out of the 1,200 that left, only 600 even made it. They lost by a narrow margin in a blinding snowstorm, then thrown into British prison, subsequently released to stagger back down home to Pennsylvania, debilitated for life. But they also gave land to the great Conewago Presbyterian Church in outside Gettysburg, which wasn't even a town then. It was in Hunterstown, PA. John Adams, second President of the United States, said that the Marsh Creek boys that lived in this area were the best sharpshooters in the world, and they fought with the Pennsylvania long rifle, which were made in Pennsylvania, centering mostly around Germantown or Philadelphia. And that is really what, in essence, helped us win the battle, because when you shot with those, you could aim and get your mark, get your target, whereas the British muskets just fired, shot in the air, and hit or miss, they just landed wherever. So that was very important. And the old Presbyterian churches in south central PA is where a lot of the hotbed of rebellion against Britain, to actually fight against Britain to win our independence, our freedom here in America, began there. And a lot of people don't know that, but the old Presbyterian churches is where a lot of the fervor actually began, and some of the Presbyterian ministers even wore their uniforms underneath their garb. Also, one of my forefathers, John Russell, who had a tavern outside Gettysburg, where it's reputed George Washington slept one night, refused to pay taxes to King George from his proceeds on the tavern and purchased uniforms for the Continental Army instead. That was tremendous courage, because he could have been hanged for treason. But he survived, and we won. And the most important thing that I want us to remember is that the Holy Bible has stayed with us through this time, through our revolutionary period, came over on a ship from England, kept on the family homestead and farms there in south central PA, gave their money and their time to churches, their beliefs in God, their belief in Jesus Christ. They fought and died for it. And I hope and pray that this nation will never forget that it was founded to be a city shining on a hill, as was said also in the Mayflower Compact in Massachusetts. God bless America. May we never forget our roots, our heritage, which are in the Holy Bible, His written word. That is what America was built on, stands for today. God bless you. Happy 4th of July, 2013. This is Lois Myers signing out. It is me. God bless y'all.